product anymore. But although unfortunately my family are dairy farmers, and I just admitted that on film, so I won't say too much more about that. But I do eat lots of ice cream, so that makes up for it. And in fact, at Cold Stone, I learned a couple weeks ago, Cold Stone now has some additional stuff, like you can get brownie sundae type things with brownies at the bottom of them at Cold Stone Creamery. And you can also get, they now have ice cream between two cookies. So two chocolate chip cookies with ice cream in between. You can get those all at Cold Stone.
We even have one of that? Where's that at?
Kansas City.
I don't like it. Well, there's one at Independence, but I
And there, what we have, you should be on the sequential and parallel processing page. And nobody has drawn a thing, but I never put anything on the board. Oh, okay, thank you. I mean, the whole front row, though, I was looking at, at the whole front row, I'm sorry, you are falsely accused, absolutely. And so this is,
I wasn't sure where it went.
you should have asked. And so this is sequential processing, right? This is sequential processing. And so we can take the cream, though, and add flavor. What is that? It's kind of a, we're tapping, this pipe there, taking the cream. Huh? Creamery, would you just have me do that? Do you like that better? But a creamery it's an old word for taking the cream off the, and the activity of taking the cream off the milk. I mean, anybody lived in Southern California where they call drive-through, they have dairies? What they call them dairies. It's like a little drive-through, pick up some groceries kind of place, but they call them dairies. Kind of a drive-through, get milk and chips and what have you. And anyway, they're called dairies, and that always bothered me, because a dairy is where the cows are, right? And the milk comes from. It's not a place you buy it. Anyway, I'll get off my little soapbox there. Freeze it. Pack it, and out comes ice cream, which I think I've publicly said on film already that is becoming almost the only dessert calories that I feel are worth the calories. And so, what do we have here? We have parallel processing. We have two, so if you look horizontal, we've got sequential processing, and then the fact that we have two production systems going on simultaneously means we have parallel processing. And the interesting thing is these are all, because who answered this question for me? In process, it was Jackie. In process costing, costs are accumulated by department. These are all department names. And we can each one of these is not only a department, it's a T account. Right, it's a T account. So what T account is this, Mr. Kanoy? The far left.
Oh, the raw milk. I think in front of the process.
Yeah, that's okay. Raw milk. But which of the T accounts in the Magnificent Seven would that be?
Oh, I'm sorry, direct materials.
Direct materials. For raw milk. But yes. Okay, very good. Carrie, what T account do you think this is? Very possibly one of those. Can you narrow it down just a little bit?
Let's go
Work in process is correct. And so it's work in process pasteurize, work in process creamery, work in process packing. What's this milk one then? Whew, this is a smelly marker. Taylor, what's the milk one? Finished goods, not, you said it kind of fast. It almost sounded like fishy goods. Finished goods. Well, that's my hearing, not your pronunciation. You just, yeah. So far, so good. Now, just to put this in a little bit of perspective, which is why I'm doing this, we can do problems. In fact, most of the problems that we're going to be doing involve just one department. Sorry, I'm so entertaining, Alex. And so the problems that we'll be doing in class involve just one department. So one work in process T account. So that kind of puts it in perspective. So I like drawing this on the board, not only to talk about sequential and parallel processing, but also to kind of place the work that we're about to be doing, the problems that we're about to be doing in perspective. So believe it or not, what I show you is relatively simple compared to what can be done. Okay, let's look at the next page. What is an equivalent unit? This. What?
Looks like crayons. It should be crayons.
That's the second, this is the first, I mean, I've had two, I don't know what to think. You know, every year, I've been doing this for years, and every class always says picket fence, because that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a picket fence. She did say picket fence, but this is, but I've drawn it in both managerial and cost now, and this is the first semester ever. In my managerial class, they guessed crayons first. About had a heart attack.
Because they're younger. He was before this possibility.
Anyway, who in American literature is famous for his
Dr. Seuss.
painting of a picket fence? Is Mark Twain did the, what did you say, Nick?
Jimmy Buffett.
He's the author.
Who did the painting? Tom Sawyer. We're going to talk about Tom Sawyer. Okay, and I have to admit I am taking liberties with the story. In Missouri, I came to, you'll see, because I've always taken liberties without explicitly saying that I was going to, but then when I first came to Missouri, students started correcting me. And so now I just admit up front, I'm taking liberties. And so Tom he's being paid to paint the picket fence, right? And so because the whiteboard's already white, we've got to paint it another color, so we're going to paint it a pretty color of red. And where was Tom when he did this painting? In which town?
Hannibal, Missouri.
Hannibal, Missouri. Has anybody been to Hannibal, Missouri? Has anybody been to Hannibal, Missouri in the summer? Because we are summer.